All right, guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and it's turn 18 in Mountain Arena. And this is the turn that you have really been waiting for because we are pretty much guaranteed a battle with Lanka and Mictlan, Lanka and Machaka this turn. And there's a decent chance we get one between Sauromatia and Mictlan. And it looks like we're going to have one. A message from Tiernanog. Hey, Lucid, Agartha refused my nap offer a few turns ago, and now I see armies on my border. I guess it's time to see if I have made good enough counters to their god. I guess we will see that. But we are not going to start there. Well, we'll take a look. Okay, yeah, there's still armies. They haven't attacked yet. Agartha's got plenty of land they can still come and take for free near Lanka. But their god is over here. We won't know where they're building a fort here. We won't know where the rest of the elves are, though. We are able to see glamour, but we can't see sneaking units, so we'll have to see. And these Kappa are probably going to be pretty okay against the Garthans as well. Really needs anti-magic, but there's not a ton of great alms, so I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. So here we go. Let's take a look at this battle. Get out your popcorn, boys and girls. We have a big, long line of Lankan foot cav, some Rakshasa warriors, or just Rakshasa, sorry, they're not warriors. But you can see they've got pretty good stats because they've got Chaos Power 2. A bit of Solus, a bit of Ghana, a bit of Kooni. The things that I'm really looking for here are, does he do Bloodlust? And then I'm looking to see Horde of Skeletons on this side. We're definitely seeing Flaming Arrows. We're definitely seeing Divine Blessing. We're definitely going to be seeing some Imp Spam. But I really want to see Bloodlust. And I really want to see Skelly Spam on this side. But I hope you enjoy this. There's Flaming Arrows. Okay, we have Mist that got cast. This was cast by Lanka, and that makes sense. It's going to reduce precision, which I don't know how much is going to matter if they're... Oh, no. Okay. You really want to fire closest. A bunch of imps have landed. Do we have Rush of Strength? We don't. So you really want to have Bloodlust if you can. And it should be one of the, especially if you found Kooni, that's like the major synergy with these guys, is you can get, as Lanka, is you can get +4 damage on them. Now, let's see what the mages are doing over here on Machaka's side. Oh, there's a back over here. Okay, they are doing Raise Dead. I don't love the mage placement. I don't know where they all are. None of these are dead yet. There's more. This is really hard. I was like, I don't love them here on the edge. But the thing is, you don't really want them in the middle either. I think what you want... This is really complicated, right? Because with these killy units, in some ways, you want to spread your armies out so they're maybe killing something and then running over here and killing something else and running over here and killing something else. But I think what you really want is you bunch everything together to limit your surface area, right? So you put everything in a ball. It's going to mean these things can't fly right in the middle. They're going to fly on the edge. The other nice thing about being in a ball is that if you summon stuff, you can put your mages in the middle and they'll summon to the outside. So if you had everything in a tight ball, you put the mages in the middle, you do Horde of Skeletons or Raise Dead, it's going to pop up to the outside. These are like little things that may make the difference. There's a lot of imps getting back in here. The imps are going to die pretty quickly, but the thing is every turn that they're fighting imps, they're not shooting these Ensuras, because you can see these guys get fucked up by the flaming arrows. And there are a lot of flaming projectiles coming out. Like, if we look at Lanka's side right now, there's a lot of dead Ensuras. A lot. But there's a lot of alive ones, too. And he has been spamming protection on these guys, so he does have Alteration 3. Some of them were starving. But these guys are holding up real good. I don't know if the lion placement right here... I think what you want to do is... I think you bunch up your archers here as much as you can. Now, there can be problems with bunching them up, like Thunderstrike and other things. But we know Lanka's not going to have that this early. I think you bunch them all up. You put a big squad of these guys in the front with some guys to put protection on them. You put one squad on the left and one squad on the right. Or one squad on the left, one squad on the right. With also a couple more guys to buff them with protection. But not like far left and right. I'm talking like just outside the archers. Mages summoning skeletons in the middle. Or maybe inside the archers on the edge where they're going to be there. Like where the troops are going to be. But regardless, the Long Dead are probably going to pop out near them on the outside of the circle. The God also, the fight is about to be decided, right? And the God hasn't done anything yet. So, I mean, he's an HP anchor, but you kind of need more from your God. Lanka has summoned a bunch of imps. Where's the God going? I think he's jumped to the back. It'd be kind of hard to see. Oh yeah, the God has come down. We're gonna watch him later, okay? But for now, we'll keep our eyes on the prize, which is what's happening up here. God, these guys have gotten through. Oh, the pygmies are routing. The slingers are routing. The Coney have made contact. It's over, boys. Now, you may look at this and you're like, of course Lanka wins this. Guys, this was close as hell. This was super close. I think the God just left. It was sitting over here. Alright, well that was an epic fight, guys. Oh, his gym mule got patrolled out. Feels bad, man. Put your gym mules on retreat. Alright, put your gym mules on retreat. Okay, so here... Pretty huge devastation for both sides. Now, a lot of the Lanka stuff survives, right? But almost everything good died. The Ganas died. The Ansuras died. Some Koani lived. I guess you could call those good. The mages lived. However, on the side of Machaka, it was almost total annihilation. He was all in. I think, we talked about the formation. The God didn't really contribute much. So maybe you put the God to also hold up a flank. Like maybe he protects the back or something like that. Because I think these guys were on attack rear. So the God could be a dummy in the back of the army that they were all going to run back and try to kill. And if they were trying to kill him while he had Astral Shield and Fire Shield, it might have taken them 7 turns, right, to kill the God. Well, that's enough time for these guys to shoot them all down. So I think like how you use your God in this fight could have been better. But I mean, that was an epic fight. It could have gone either way. And, Lanka made the mistake, if we call it a mistake, he just might not have had the research yet, and it was go time. But of, not doing Bloodlust. So yeah, there's really not much left for Machaka to do. He was all in. So we'll watch as he dies, whether it's slow or fast or whatever. But I can't imagine. I mean, he still has his God, but I can't imagine it will take terribly long. If they get regen and maybe a couple other items on the God, he could maybe do some super combatanting, but it's unlikely people are going to have a ring of regen to give him. Anywho, super cool fight. I mean, what more can you ask for? This is so fun to watch. No battle here between the elves and the slugs. I mean, Agartha. Coming over to Vanheim, he takes these wolves out, the squad of Van Heers. And Vanheim attacks into Niflheim with his little gang of dudes. Okay, and these guys don't have... There's a problem here. Okay, this is the thing that I was saying I wasn't sure, but I expected. If you put two of these guys next to each other, there's a lot that happens when you have two instead of one. One thing is they get surrounded less, because they have these tiles blocked off, and they're unlikely to be attacked from the back. It means really they're only going to get attacked by 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 tiles. That's a lot more than getting attacked by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... like maybe 7 tiles, 6 to 7 tiles. You're like 3 to 4 rather than 6 to 7. So it's like half the incoming damage just because you have a guy next to you. Because it's less likely they get behind you when you have more dudes. The other thing is you have overlapping chillars. Like this tile and this tile, which maybe before would have been fine tiles to stand in. You have overlapping heat and chillars from these guys now, which will be potentially affecting these. So yeah, basically the good tiles to attack and kill these dudes, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like sort of 5 and 6 if people can get behind. But I mean, this is going to get really tough. Well, here's what I was saying about, because, okay, well, he got lucky that they stood next to each other when they made contact. But you'll see, these guys are, I'm guessing even with 10, okay, yeah, here you go. 10 cold resistance, 10 heat resistance. Okay, wait, what spells did he cast? Oh, no, he did Phantasmal Warriors. Okay, that's Ballin's fault for bad scripting. Here he's just straight out beasting them in melee. Yeah, they're not actually fatiguing out. Yeah, they're just beating the shit out of them the good old-fashioned way with really good stats and one-hit killing these Van Heers. One of the things about Van Heers, too, and it's one of the things to think about when you're building them, is like they're way better when they go berserk, especially at killing super combatants. Let's take a look at the ones who are alive here. Not berserk, not berserk, not berserk, not berserk, not berserk, not berserk. Literally not one of them is berserk. Okay? Do you know the problem with that? The problem is you're not getting the bonus 5 attack and damage. So they're basically just really expensive two-handed wielding dudes. Sad but not surprised is, I think, the best thing to say. I do think this is a matchup that favors Vanheim pretty significantly. I think to kill multiple Nifl Jarls, you need Great Swords of Sharpness if you're fighting in Cold 3. If you're fighting in Cold 2 or Cold 1, you might be able to get by with Van Heers. But yeah, I think that's a pretty clear lesson. And if you're fighting one Nifl Jarl, you can probably maybe fight them with these guys in Cold 3. But these are not like especially killy Van Heers. Yeah, I think you need Great Swords of Sharpness. The nice thing, though, is you have a Steel Evans right here, right? Get some Dwarven Smiths moving out this way, put them in this Steel Evans. Start slamming a Sword of Sharpness every turn with a hammer. You can have so many of those things and just blender these dudes. Hopefully he moves some... I mean, you have a pretty obvious move from Niflheim. Like, Niflheim's probably going to move here after having this win. Right, so you move some thugs here to intercept. But we'll see. Okay, coming down. Mictlan, nothing happening in the back lines, but we have a battle on top of Sauromatia's cap. And Sauromatia rides out. He's got a few of these Inari. I have no idea what he's... Okay, he's doing Awakened Tattoos. I don't think that does that much here. Because these guys have magic weapons. And Awakened Tattoos does a bunch of things, or a few things. But like on these guys, they have Magic Snake Tattoo, which is going to give them invulnerability and MR. And they have this, which is going to give them a tiny bit of defense. Tiny bit of defense, okay? I'm not exactly sure which one it is they get, but we can maybe add it up. 6, 9, 7, 11, plus 13, 24. Bless bonus. Oh, I guess... Oh, these haven't been awakened yet. We'll maybe see if we can see an awakened tattoos. We see a lot of luck getting spammed. Now, luck is going to be very good, as we mentioned. On Mictlan's side, we see a bunch of quickness getting spammed. Okay, so I like this. So the nice thing about luck here... Who is he casting Awakened Tattoos on? Oh, it's Awakened. Bless bonus mounted. Anyway, they have the same thing. It's 26 now instead of 24, I think. I think it's a 2 bonus. I'm not totally sure. Anyhow, luck is exceptionally good on these guys. What were these Inari casting? Okay, just luck. Moss Body. Oh, it's a warrior sorceress. Moss Body's good. Bunch of luck. Okay. So a lot of these guys are lucky, but not probably enough. A little bit of agony. He's got ranged units too. Otherwise, I'd be more okay with. There's a lot of blood slaves. I think they're off script now. Okay, they're about to be. So he did reinvigoration here at the end. We'll see if they keep casting off script. Okay, I don't love the formation here, obviously. Summoning imps. I want to watch this whole battle again. I have a bunch of questions and a bunch of comments I want to make later. There's a lot of imps, though. Holy shit. This guy's starting to get fatigued out? No, not at all. Yeah, okay. I've got thoughts. Alright, so here's the Butcher's Ledger. We've got basically all of Sauromatia's stuff died. Mictlan lost a lot. He lost almost half of his Jags. But these are totally under the category of acceptable attrition. There's a lot Sauromatia could have done different here. One thing is you have... Oh, wait. Before I misspeak. Oh, he doesn't have quickness. He has protection. Yeah, Moss Body's probably the best. Okay, there's some options. Okay, the options aren't simple, but I think you could put a lot of these guys on guard commander. Because I think he has a lot of commanders here, right? Not as many as... Okay. Like, where are all his mages? Like, there's a battle on top of Sauromatia's cap, and there's more mages from Mictlan. If he didn't use every single mage he had here, that was a big mistake. But, okay, I was going to say you could put him on guard commander, but there's not enough mages. The other thing is, if you don't do that, the formation here is not good. Having a box like this would be nice if, let's say, you were going to buff these guys to hell with like a guard commander thing, kind of similar to what happened in new castings with, oh god, who is it? Bogaroos, right? That could work. Maybe you horde a skeleton spam with these guys or raise skeletons or whatever. But you just guard commander and you buff these guys to hell and you hope you beat the Jags. The other thing is the formation, though. You really want a single line with like a sparse line behind it. Or maybe two sparse lines that are split up and spread out this way. The thing is, yeah. Like, most of these guys are just wasted. I guess they're a little bit like, well, they're a little bit wasted on both sides. Mictlan has, like, if you say, if this is how long Mictlan's line is, there's a bunch of problems. Like, I think Sauromatia actually technically, they have about equal sacreds, right? But look, see, just right here, they're getting an envelopment. Right here. They're surrounding him on the sides, and this guy is going to get fucked up. Right, the high defense isn't going to matter. These guys are going to get torn to pieces right here. And you can see them dying. They get filled in, but just, you're going to be losing a ton of units. And this is like the unit, like, disposal ground where you go to die. And if you had a longer line, that'd be much less likely to happen. You still have the problem of the imps. This guy actually is just dogging these imps. It's great, though. Moss body plus luck. Just a lot of imps. I was thinking if you had Alt 4, you could do quickness too, which would be great, but yeah, you can't. I think you had two options is this. Okay, I think one is bring more mages, right? Guard commander bullshit might work. There's a lot of risks that come with that. It's generally not a good strategy, but in this case, I feel like it might work. And then, yeah, I think you need a longer line. Like, you need to... basically a longer line. Whew, that's rough, though. That was a good fight, though. That was a good fight. We'll watch it one more time. And, you know, if you're in this game, sorry if I'm Monday morning quarterbacking after it happens, but, you know. We've got good players in this game, too. Like, people clearly know what they're doing, for the most part, but what am I going to talk about if not how I would do things differently? I ask you. Yeah, I think, honestly, this could have gone probably either way. I feel like these Sacreds, when buffed with luck, probably trade about equally with the Jags. Maybe even a little better. It's just they're getting completely dogged in their formation and all these imps. Imps doing serious work. Oh, I wanted to watch one more thing. Let's watch the Mage Corps from Mictlan once they go off script. So after round 5, you can see the round over here. I want to see how the off script's casting with Reinvigoration. Because he brought just an enormous amount of slaves. You can see he buffed them all with quickness too. Very cool stuff. Then a bunch of summon imps, then Reinvigoration. They're off script now. So that was an off script Reinvigoration because it's round 7. They're summoning more imps. And then they're gone. There were definitely a couple off-script reinvigorations there. I mean, guys, that was a tremendous amount of imps. How many imps got made? We probably can't really tell, can we? I mean, I think there's a lot to this whole thing. Sauromatia is decent PD. I think they just gave up a ton of initiative. They let Niflheim go on their cap. They gave up a ton of initiative. I guess they probably needed Alt 3. I don't know what else they got, though. Maybe they're just waiting for Alt 3 to fight. I can see that. I mean, it's a big power spike if you've got a ton of Astral 1s and Moss Body casters. But yeah, anyway, it's been interesting. Niflheim takes this. There's 2 more Sauromatia provinces left, and then the cap. We saw this, I believe, where he fended off these dudes. And I think that brings us back to where we start. Oh, no, we didn't see this column yet. We've got TNG moving on Hinam's fort. Watch how fast these guys dissolve. This is not in fast motion, like fast forward. They just literally melt to Warriors of the 5 Elements. These are some really sexy sacreds, though a little bit glass cannon-y. I don't think he was able to get out. Do we see Dawnguard here? Nope. So he's going to roll out with this big army, and I don't know what Yomi's going to do here. I don't think this is exactly what you want to fight, especially if there's a Melkord in here with the Holy Scourge. I don't know how this goes, but I feel this could be pretty bad news. Especially if you can get Gift of Flight on that Melkord. Which you can do. You have Air 2s you can get as Hinam. It can be tricky to target Gift of Flight because it doesn't target based on HP. But, okay. I mean, I think whatever got trapped inside here is dead unless Hinam moves this stuff up and decides to knock him off the fort. Yomi doesn't really have the ability to reinforce too much. The Ictids raid out here. Dione following behind the fun wagon. I think this is going to be the fun wagon's last ride. All right. We're going to have some action in the next few turns with Hinam, but yeah, we definitely got our treat this turn with some very cool battles with the Lanka and with Mictlan. Here he clears out these dudes. Manages to lose a Jin to a retreating army. Rather than just let him go, he apparently sent them to attack. You really just need to ping this with a scout. There's no commander here. There's not really any reason to do more than that. Just wasting like mage turns and stuff. Got a Jin killed for nothing. Come on, bruh. Shaitan here. I guess he's site searching. God, this is like the dream Ubar game. I cannot believe he's got 2 sage producing spots. It's so sick. And then a bonus 4 astral income. Such a good start. The only thing, he probably still needs to think about making a move. I think that move's going to be TNG. I don't think you want to let your neighbor... I don't think you want to be a 1-cap dude and let your neighbors completely finish a war. But he's got time. You know, Hinam isn't going to be dying... Well, he could. I mean, nobody's in Hinam's 3x3, all right? But if Hinam loses this army, the wheels are going to come off the Hinam wagon very fast, and it's not going to be a fun wagon anymore. Okay. I think that brings us back to where we started, and I think we'll call it there. So see you next time, folks. Take care.